was the surgeon who grouped young female staff and described them as fresh meat while they worked under him, because he abused his power and he was just sexually assaulting every single young kid who came from university to work. And it became a normal thing since 2017 to 2022, where every single young girl that came into the department was either told to show him their breast, or he just grabbed it, or he just created an environment where they feel like they were like just bodies motivating him to work. Bodies ready to be used however seems fit. So I want to cover this story. Again, these stories get the channel in trouble. Yeah, every time I report these stories, we always get like, oh, it's too sensitive, age restriction. But I believe these stories needs to be told. A surgeon who grouped young female staff, described as fresh meat. A heart surgeon described as arrogant, crude, molest 5 members of staff working in his department at Blackpool Victoria Hospital. Senior consultant and head of cardiovascular department, Amar Boss, that's his name, right here, abused his position to sexually assault young women who worked in his role, less senior to his. Ahmad Boss, his name is Amal Boss. So when I say boss, I mean I'm referring to him. I'm not calling him boss. Alright? Because, he's not my boss. He should not be anybody's boss. Boss's victim said due to his seniority in the department, they worked in a culture of inappropriate behavior that went unchallenged. Edward, prosecuting, told the sentencing hearing at Preston Crown Court that the staff member described Boss's behavior as beyond workplace joke. So it was not jokes anymore, it was beyond. It was sexual targeting for females, and mainly young females, they said. Edward, the prosecutor, said. One of Boss' victim told the court that she was grouped by the surgeon as she scrubbed up ahead of surgery. Wow, that's distracting and that's dangerous for anybody who's waiting on the chair to be treated. So, yeah, you should not be doing that. You should not be doing it at all. Okay, let's carry on reading. On another occasion, shortly after she joined the department, Boss rested his head on her shoulder. Oh God, what the fuck? Rested his head on her shoulder, leaving her worried what other staff member would think about the relationship between them, she said. So now she felt like, hey, like, what are people gonna think? Do they think that I'm asking for this? Do they think that like I'm liking this? Then she added, she said there was a toxic environment in the department and Amor Boss was the root cause of it, Mr. Edwards said. Another victim was grouped in operating theater as she helped the consultant prepare for operation. Oh God, that is dangerous. That should not be happening. You know, while I'm reading this story, I'm thinking about my sisters. One of them is a nurse, qualified nurse, right now working 12-hour shift. When you read these stories, you always think like, of course, you always feel like, oh, thank God that was not my sister. Oh, thank God that was not a part of my family. Anytime when you hear a tragic story, you always think, oh, thank God. But that these young girls who joined this department was somebody's sister. These young girls were somebody's nephew, cousin, however way you want to say it. These young girls were somebody's maybe wife, young wife. And this guy was able to just assault them, use them as just, well, again, when we read on, it says use them as fresh meat. And he did that for a long time. For every single young person who joined. He did that from 2017 to 2022. That's the long time of him just touching young girls. And only 5 victims have come up. Maybe there's more. Because you don't do it for 5 years straight and only get 5. I'm sure he has more. Some girls don't even talk. Some girls feel like, man, I don't want to go on record on that. And they just choose not to speak. Maybe it's even worse than what we know. But let's carry on reading this. After putting his gloves on, boss purposely grabbed her breast, the court heard. Oh, God. Just when you thought it was going to get worse, it gets worse instantly. One woman said that boss gripped her breast. Has he helped himself to open a pen from her top pocket? What? So this guy was like he was not challenged. He was just doing whatever he wants in the department. I mean, it was the senior member of that department. So, but it seemed like he had so much confidence that he could just grab the pen from somebody's, from a girl's top pocket and grab the breast and do all this. Okay, let's keep reading because it just gets worse. Again, this is the reason why sometimes I try either just report this, meaning like report it on Twitter with words, than making a video about it, because I get too passionate. Because I have 4 sisters in my family, and if this was to happen to any of them, if I was to hear anything, let me see, can't really say, but I'll be really pissed. But these are somebody's sisters that this boss guy did to. I want to read the last two words. I think it gets worse. The last 2 words. Let's read the last 2 paragraphs. Now, one woman said, this is another woman. Oh, I just read that. She said boss referred to her as fresh meat. So he was that confident to the point where he named them now. She said boss referred to her as fresh meat. Oh, God. That's bad. And would often stand close to her, making inappropriate comments. Yeah, he became so confident. He was not challenged. And I'm sure he was hiring young girls purposely so he can do this. Again, she reported it to a colleague, but the incident was never spoken of again. Yeah, that's how they do. They always cover each other. They always cover up for each other. They always cover up for each other. Always. Another described him. Another described him how he pulled her top down. Wait, am I reading this correctly? Is this at work? Wait, hold on. Like, let me highlight this thing while I'm reading, because maybe I might just be reading this like wrong stuff. Another described how he pulled her top down. This is at work. Exposing her chest and bra. What the fuck? From that point, she changed her view of him from something harmless to something more. Alright, folks. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. It's getting even worse. I'll quickly just read this thing. It's getting even worse. And these are 5 people. and is due to be sentenced. I don't know how long they're gonna give him. All I know is that it won't be very long. Anyway, this is picture. This is how he looks. This is Amal boss abused his position as a senior consultant. That's his picture. Should we zoom in? Let's zoom in. That's his picture. Share this thing everywhere. Share this thing everywhere. There you go. That's the story. He abused his position. He used this female staff to pleasure himself. And he did that from 2017 to 2022. He's due to be sentenced this month. We don't know how many years he's gonna get. But we've seen a lot of people like him get away with it. I hope he actually spends time. Reports obviously they've reported that he's lost his license. He can't practice anymore. That's good. But now let's put him in jail. Let's make sure he regrets every single thing that he's ever done to any of his staff or any of the girls, not just from the business that he was working in. I'll let you know if there's any report on this. I'll let you know what happens to him. But yeah. And I believe this is not a new thing. I think this is happening everywhere, in every department. It's sad that we have to report these things. It's sad that some guys see girls as an object. They see them as nothing. Well, according to boss, they see them as fresh meat. And, hence the report that I have to read out to you. And there's so many like him that if I quickly just look, I can easily find. Or maybe I won't because they're not reported. But yeah, that's the story. Attention, attention, attention. This is not just a normal t-shirt. This is your battle armor in this war against lies and manipulation and deception. And when you wear this t-shirt, you are not just making a statement. You are drawing a line in the sand. And you're saying, I will not be silenced, I will not be bought, and I will not be steered. Every thread in this t-shirt screams defiance. Every letter of I found the truth, not propaganda. Or maybe every letter of the nation needs to know is a rally cry out for independent thinkers, disruptors, the people who refuse to bend to the mainstream media narrative. We need your fund, and this is your chance to stand up, to speak out and fund the fight for the truth. Don't just wear it like a regular t-shirt. You have to live it. The nation needs to know you're gonna live it. Yes, please. I need you to fuel the resistance. Be the reason why the truth survive in this country. Please get yours at thebarakashow.com. And thank you so much for keeping us on air. Thank you.
In the shadow of the digital gulag, we fire up the truth cannon and blast through the lies.
And the show host, Baraka Amuri.